Hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by. This is an experiment on my part, and I am reading out loud part 3 of my roughed draft before I do a first draft of my final edit drafts and hand it off to some helpers that I have standing by on a team. Without further ado, here's part 3 of 47 Truths. The introduction. Why am I writing this book? If you don't ask, I still will. I really want to know. In part, it is a personal exploration of self, an attempt to uncover those gold and silver threads holding everything together deep at my core. Like so many before me, I would like to find those beautiful truths and pin them down, like those beautiful butterflies and occasional moths we used to collect in elementary school. Why do we like butterflies so much more than moths? Truth be told, I would much rather leave them flying freely, flapping their own colorful wings, for as long as their nature allows. Moths and butterflies and truths. I don't like pinning things down until they're dead. I just want to stir them up a little, ask them questions, clarify what's what and who's who in this story. I'd like to make the truth fly a bit, inhale some of it, like running through a mountain meadow of wildflowers. I just want to run with them a little while, giggle at their stillness and marvel at their diverse, simple beauty. Yes, truths are like butterflies and moths and bees and trees to me, kittens and puppies, worms and dust bunnies, and I would like to spend a little time getting to know them all a little better. Since I'm sure by now that you are a truth seeker and at least some kind of reality dancer like me, I cordially invite you to share more of your own truths with me as I figure out my own working truths. I'll tell you what I've figured out of mine so far, or at least I will attempt to. Here. I am 47 this year. That is not any kind of a record or anything. It's just some kind of a misleading label, though. It seems like it should mean something, when actually it means very little. Nothing, really, as far as I can tell. It's just this number we keep track of, our age. I met a woman this year who lives in a culture that does not write down or remember birth dates. In the Middle East somewhere. She chooses whatever day she likes to celebrate her birthday each year. She figures she's 70. October 8th was good, she told me. It happened to be a few days after that. Labels are mostly not my favorite. I celebrated my 47th birthday last January on the 25th. Celebrated might be an exaggeration too, though maybe not. I honestly can't remember. As I write this intro, the big 48 looms in the not very distant future. And anyhow, 47, that's a lot of sevens. I like to say, mostly because it doesn't really make sense at all, and yet somehow it does, to me. I like sevens, and multiples of sevens. Just one of a bunch of little facts about me you'll probably never need to know. These are the little things that delight me in life. That is a pretty good reason right there, and all the credentials I need to write a book like this, really. But wait, there's more. In many ways, this is closing the loop on a project I started when I was about 12, I think, shortly after my grandmother died. I think it was called A Medalist Handbook or something like that. A friend of mine's older brother had just introduced me to weed and Black Sabbath, Sweet Leaf, in a van, of course. Everyone lived by the river. I remember thinking I was rewriting my own version of the Bible after realizing the whole church thing was a sham, just a congregation hand-groomed by a select few to give them first access to young girls and boys as they grew up. Looking back, it's easy to see from there to here, though of course looking forward, it is usually not so easy to see so clearly. Anyhow, I suppose it's merely an age thing, as many people around my age begin to pontificate and reflect on our stories and epiphanies. In part, it's an attempt to communicate with my son across the ages, and maybe some other people I love as well. Mostly, it's an exploration. Like all good adventures, I don't know exactly how it will end, or what twists and turns will reveal themselves to me as I make my idea into an actual book. I can tell you these truths have been simmering a long time in the pot that is my mind. Bloody hell. Yes, I think nearly all things are delicious if you have the right taste buds. It is also the foundation of very many great things to come in my life. And in life in general, I feel. As we navigate our collective futures, writing this book just feels right. Feels very much in alignment with everywhere I've been and everything that I'm doing and everywhere I'm going. I'm excited to share it with you, and I'm excited to see where it takes us. Already, in putting this down on paper and preparing to share it publicly, I get a little, ooh, was that a butterfly, dare I say? Huh. LOL. Just because I love you does not mean I would not eat you. That's a quote from me. You never can tell. That's they. Maybe both are happening at the same time. Forrest Gump. This is only the beginning. Gandalf. What I would love you to see when you look through me is a richly colored, deliciously fragrant tapestry of infinite, blissful discovery. Sweet darkness balanced delightfully with gold and silver thread. Gold and silver light. Threads of every feeling dancing in moonbeams. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Oscar Wilde. What color is this to you? Start your engines.